You Spin Me Right Round by Dead or Alive filled the corridors via tinny speakers from a paint-spattered radio on the desk in Nurse Gloria's office. Nurse Becky readied herself for the end of her shift, and she sang along quietly as she entered the room of the last resident she was due to check up on before bed. She sure did love this hot new song. She loved current music full stop, to be honest. Duran Duran, Eurythmics, Madonna, you name it, this is set in the mid-80s. She closed the door behind her. Like a record, baby, she sang quietly, approaching the elderly man sitting, as always, in his armchair. Right round, round, round. She sang this quietly because she didn't want to wake him. It had been a big day. Today had been Indiana Jones's 86th birthday. And the party in the big room had been wonderful. It was unclear, of course, whether or not he knew it was happening, because when everybody was singing Happy Birthday and Nurse Gloria had brought out his Colin Caterpillar cake, he'd screamed, "Why do you have to be snakes?" and put everybody off their stride, but it wasn't his fault, bless him. His mind wasn't what it used to be, poor guy. He'd tell anyone going that he'd found the Holy Grail, and you just have to smile and nod politely, but then he'd say the oddest things, stating the obvious as if he were a special case for thinking them. Nazis, he'd declare unprompted. I hate those guys. As if this was some hot new take on them. A lot of people hated them, Henry, Becky used to reply as she wiped the pudding from his mouth, but then he'd bitten her head off and asked her how many Nazis' faces she'd melted off and proceeded to stare at her intently with fiercely angry eyes for a full minute. None, she'd answered pleasantly, knowing full well the same was true for him too. But anger was common in the elderly, especially when their memories started to go, she noticed. And almost every resident in there had stories about their war exploits, but no tale was taller than those Henry would spin. The amount of polite nodding that went on around him had given Becky bad shoulders. Nobody can survive a nuclear explosion in a fridge. She knew that, and he knew that, but he'd still mention it every time Becky brought him a yoghurt. Not to mention the very unsavoury tales he would tell about his time in India. Yeah, okay, he was a man of a certain age and a product of his time, she understood that, but still, he'd often sit next to Mr. Balakrishnan, and he didn't need to hear that. He much preferred hearing about the aliens. And it wasn't that he had wandering hands or anything like that, but he'd often make a nuisance of himself with the nurses. Once during a sponge bath, he'd closed both his eyes at Becky and she'd noticed he'd written something on his eyelids. Lick it. She'd guessed it was supposed to say that, but the poor man had got his left and right confused again. He'd been an archaeology professor, and was apparently so married to the work that he'd found time for little else. What a boring life he must have led, thought Becky, as she fluffed his pillows. He never had visitors these days. Every day he would ask if his son had called, but the answer was always the same. Becky had never seen or heard anything of this so-called son. And that being the case, she thought, how awful not coming to visit your father like that. And even though she hadn't met him, she didn't think much of this son of his. She didn't mind admitting it. But like many others, she preferred to think that Indiana Jones's son had just never existed at all. It was better that way. He'd never existed. He'd been curiously quiet while she had busied herself preparing his room for him to turn in for the night. Usually he would snore like a circus train, but no noise. She moved closer to him and noticed his eyes were open. His armchair never faced the window. Instead, he'd sit in it and admire various items he displayed on top of and inside an ugly teak display cabinet with glass doors. Among other things, there was a strange golden head, a tatty old wooden cup, a battered fedora hat, and an incredibly old photograph of a dog. The hat stank, but he wouldn't be parted with it. A smile made the scar on his chin all the more pronounced. He'd got it lion taming, apparently. But Becky realised that he'd gone. Must have been all the excitement of the birthday party. Too much for a stuffy old teacher. She went to inform the rest of the staff, and as she opened the door to the corridor outside, she could hear Easy Lover blaring out on the rattly old radio on Gloria's desk. She wasn't sure why, but something made her double back and take the mouldy old hat. She placed it atop his smiling face and over his eyes, and let him sleep. And that's canon now. No more films, no more films, no more films. That's canon. That's no more films.